Coming live from the studio, this is All Sports with Gerardo. Thank you for watching another episode of All Sports. This is your host Gerardo. On the show today, I am going to talk about my experience at PNC Park. To start off, at the middle every month, I post a video or talk about one stadium I went to. So stay tuned for future videos from stadiums across the US. For the month of May, I'm going to post a video where I talk about PNC Park and my experience there. For the next 30 months, I will go in order and tell you about every stadium I have been to across the US. When I post a video talking about a stadium I have been to, there will be two different versions. It will be a video where I talk about the stadium if I have already been there. But if it's a stadium I haven't been to yet, then I will post a video showing you the stadium. So right now I'm going to give you some background history about PNC Park. It's located in Pittsburgh. It's located close to Heinz Field, which is the home of the Steelers, the NFL football team. They broke ground for PNC Park back in April of 1999, and it opened in March of 2001. It has a seating capacity of over 38,700 seats. PNC Park hosted the 2006 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. PNC Park is considered one of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball because of its location, design, clear angles of the field from every seat in the ballpark, and for the views of the Pittsburgh skyline with the Roberto Clemente Bridge going over the Allegheny River. There's no doubt PNC Park would be ranked in the top 10 or even in the top 5 among all Major League ballparks. There's nothing bad to say about PNC Park, and everything about PNC Park is great. There are statues outside of PNC Park that honor the great players that played for the Pirates. PNC Park was the first outdoor Major League Baseball stadium to have LED video boards. PNC Park was the first ballpark to feature an out-of-town scoreboard. PNC Park features a riverside concourse along the river. The Pirates honored Roberto Clemente by renaming the 6th Street Bridge the Roberto Clemente Bridge. PNC Park is known for the view that you get of downtown Pittsburgh with the Roberto Clemente Bridge in front of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline from the ballpark, and it's one of the nicest views from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. So what I like about PNC Park, there is nothing bad to say about PNC Park. And there's no doubt that PNC Park is one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball, and it's also one of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball. Even if you have or you haven't been to PNC Park, but you've seen pictures or videos of PNC Park online, or you've seen a Pirates game on TV, or even if you had the opportunity of going to Pittsburgh and seeing PNC Park in person, there's no doubt, especially if you've seen PNC Park in person, that you would say PNC Park is one of the best and nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball, and you would probably rank this ballpark in the top 10, even in the top 5. And just like many reviews and other individuals that have been to PNC Park, the individuals that wrote reviews about PNC Park online, and even individuals that have ranked PNC Park among all ballparks in Major League Baseball, just like they said, you would probably say that PNC Park is one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball, and you would have it ranked just like they do, in the top 10, even in the top 5. And just like other individuals, there are some individuals that even have it ranked as one of the best or the best ballpark in Major League Baseball. And especially after you were to go see PNC Park in person, there's no doubt that you would probably rank PNC Park as one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball. And what I like about PNC Park is the interior and the exterior of this ballpark. Every aspect of this ballpark is nice. And no matter where you are in this ballpark, there's not a bad spot in this ballpark to sit or stand to watch a Pirates game. And regardless of where you're sitting or standing in this ballpark, you can see a Pirates game from every angle of this ballpark, which makes PNC Park ranked as one of the best ballparks because of that aspect. Also, regardless if you are or you're not a Pirates fan, but especially if you're a baseball fan, you definitely have to check out PNC Park. Especially if you're someone that's been going around and seeing every Major League ballpark. And if you're someone that has a bucket list of seeing all 30 Major League ballparks, you definitely need PNC Park on your list. Even if you're not going to go see all 30 Major League ballparks, or you don't have the opportunity of seeing all 30 Major League ballparks, but you get the opportunity of seeing a few ballparks, you definitely need PNC Park on your list. And it should definitely be at the top of your list. What I like about PNC Park, especially if you're sitting behind home plate or on the first or third base side, you get a really nice view of the field when the Pirates are playing. But also, you get two for the price of one. You get to see a Pirates game inside PNC Park, and you also get a really nice view from PNC Park. If you're looking towards the outfield, you get the view of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline with the Roberto Clemente Bridge going over the river. And that view that you get from PNC Park, there's no doubt that that's one of the nicest views that you get from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. And that's also one of the nicest views from the ballpark, especially if you get to see it in person, compared to seeing pictures or videos of it online or watching a Pirates game on TV. There's definitely a big difference if you see that view in person. Regardless if you get to see that view in person or you just see pictures or videos of it, there's no doubt that that view of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline from PNC Park is one of the nicest views from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. And especially if you get to see it in person and you get to take pictures of it being inside of PNC Park. Another thing about PNC Park which makes it one of the best ballparks, no matter where you sit or stand inside PNC Park, you really get a nice view of the Pirates game. And there's no obstructed view inside of PNC Park where you would get an obstructed view of the Pirates game. Anywhere you are inside PNC Park, you can see the Pirates game. As long as you sit or stand anywhere inside of PNC Park except for the seats in the outfield, you get to watch the Pirates game, but you also get a really nice view of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline. And you can still see it from the first level inside PNC Park. But if you have tickets to go sit in the upper level, that's the best view, and that's also a better view that you get of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline. And I know a lot of people don't like to sit in the upper deck of a stadium or in the nosebleed seats. But if you get to go to PNC Park, this is one of the stadiums I would recommend having tickets for the nosebleeds in the upper deck. And there's no doubt that if you buy tickets and go sit in the upper deck inside of PNC Park for a Pirates game like I did, you're not going to regret sitting in the upper deck inside of PNC Park because of the view that you get of the Pirates game, but also of that downtown Pittsburgh skyline. You're basically getting two for the price of one. If you get the opportunity to go to Pittsburgh, you definitely need to check out a Pirates game at PNC Park. Regardless if you are or you're not a Pirates fan, but you get to go to Pittsburgh, you definitely need to see a Pirates game at PNC Park. Even if you don't get the opportunity to have tickets to sit in the upper deck, at some point throughout the Pirates game, you definitely need to make your way up to the upper deck from behind home plate so you can get the view of the Pirates game with the downtown Pittsburgh skyline in the background. And you get to see the Pirates game, you get to see PNC Park, and you also get to see the downtown Pittsburgh skyline from the upper deck from PNC Park. And if you get to go up there and see it in person, don't forget to also take pictures of it, because that's one of the nicest pictures from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. And there's no doubt that that view that you get from PNC Park would be ranked in the top 5 especially. But it would also be ranked in the top 10 among the nicest views that you get from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. And there's no doubt that that view that you get from PNC Park could also be considered as one of the best views from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. Also, if you get to go to PNC Park, you definitely need to check out the entire ballpark in the inside and from the outside, either before or after you go inside PNC Park to watch a Pirates game. You definitely need to check out and walk the Roberto Clemente Bridge that goes from PNC Park into downtown Pittsburgh. That bridge used to be the 6th Street Bridge, and it is now named after Roberto Clemente. That is how the Pirates are honoring Roberto Clemente. So you definitely need to check out the yellow bridge that you can see from PNC Park, that you would see from the outfield inside of PNC Park, that goes from PNC Park into downtown Pittsburgh. You definitely want to see that bridge and walk that bridge at some time you're at PNC Park, especially before or after a Pirates game. You definitely want to check out the statues outside of PNC Park. You definitely want to walk on the walkway outside of PNC Park that's next to the river. When you're inside of PNC Park, you definitely want to walk the outfield concourse. That is a riverside concourse, and you get the aspect of being inside of PNC Park and also being next to the river, you definitely have to check out the entire ballpark once you're inside of PNC Park. You have to check out all the features that PNC Park has to offer. At some point during the Pirates game, you definitely need to make your way to the upper deck, especially if you didn't get tickets in the upper deck. But you definitely need to check out the Pirates game from the upper deck, but also that view that you get of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline from PNC Park as you're looking towards the outfield from PNC Park. So make sure if you go to PNC Park that you check out the entire ballpark from the inside and from the outside, from the time you arrive to PNC Park and from the time that you leave from PNC Park. So I went to PNC Park back in July of 2016, and there's no doubt that PNC Park was one of my favorite ballparks to go to, even though I am not a Pirates fan. But what I liked about PNC Park was all the features that the ballpark has to offer in the inside and from the outside of the ballpark. And no matter where you sit or stand inside of the ballpark, you get to see the Pirates game from every angle inside of PNC Park. Also, if you are sitting at particular spots inside of PNC Park, especially behind home plate or on the first or third base side, you get to see the Pirates game, but you also get the view of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline in the distance. And you can still see that view from the first level. But if you make your way to the upper deck, the view's even better. And there's no doubt that PNC Park was one of my favorite ballparks to go to out of all 30 Major League ballparks I have been to, once I have completed going to all 30 Major League ballparks. And if I ever get the opportunity, there's no doubt that I would go back to Pittsburgh. And if I had the opportunity to go back to Pittsburgh, I would definitely go to PNC Park to see another Pirates game. And after I went to PNC Park, out of all the ballparks I've been to, there's no doubt that PNC Park was one of my favorite ballparks to go to. And if I were to create a list out of all the ballparks I've been to, PNC Park would be ranked in the top 10 or even in the top 5 among all the ballparks I've been to, because of everything PNC Park has to offer and because of PNC Park being one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball. And there's no doubt that whether you've been to most of the ballparks or you haven't been to most of the ballparks that are located in the Midwest are some of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball. And that's where you'll find most of the nicest ballparks is in the Midwest. And if you're someone that is a baseball fan, but especially if you're someone that wants to see all of the ballparks in Major League Baseball, PNC Park definitely needs to be on your list. And if you haven't been to Pittsburgh before, you definitely need to go to Pittsburgh and check out PNC Park, because it is one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball. And it was one of my favorite ballparks because it's such a nice ballpark. There is nothing bad to say about this ballpark. Every aspect of this ballpark is nice. But the one thing that stood out to me was that PNC Park is one of the nicest ballparks, but the view that you get from PNC Park of downtown Pittsburgh, that is one of the nicest views in Major League Baseball. And with PNC Park being one of the best ballparks, and with the view that you get from PNC Park of downtown Pittsburgh, that's why PNC Park is ranked in the top 10, in the top 5, and it's even considered one of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball because of those two aspects. And there's no doubt that my favorite thing about PNC Park when I went there was that it's a nice ballpark, but also that view that you get from PNC Park was one of the nicest views from any stadium. So if you get the opportunity to go to Pittsburgh, you definitely need to check out downtown Pittsburgh and go to the top of the hills that surround downtown Pittsburgh that overlook the city. If you get to make your way to the top of those hills, you'll get some of the nicest views of downtown Pittsburgh. If you go to Pittsburgh, you definitely need to check out downtown Pittsburgh. But also, you definitely need to make sure that you check out the stadiums in Pittsburgh, depending on the time of year that you go to Pittsburgh. Regardless if you're a fan of any of the teams in Pittsburgh or you're not, you definitely need to check out those stadiums, because those stadiums are some of the nicest stadiums in those leagues. But also, the experience that you would get at that stadium would be one of the best experiences that you get when you go to a stadium. So make sure that if you get the opportunity to go to Pittsburgh, that you go at the right time of year. And you definitely need to check out those stadiums, regardless if you're a fan of those teams or you're not a fan of those teams. And if you get to go to Pittsburgh at the right time of year, you definitely need to check out Heinz Field, which is the home of the Steelers. If you get to check out a Steelers game, regardless if you're a fan of the Steelers or you're not a fan of the Steelers, the fan experience that you would get at Heinz Field of a Steelers game is one of the best fan experiences that you would get. Also, you definitely need to check out PNC Park and see a Pirates game. PNC Park is one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball, and that view that you get of the downtown Pittsburgh skyline from PNC Park is also one of the nicest views from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. So if you get to go to Pittsburgh, you definitely need to check out a Steelers game at Heinz Field to experience that fan experience especially. And you need to check out PNC Park and go to a Pirates game to see one of the nicest ballparks in Major League Baseball, and also one of the nicest views from a ballpark in Major League Baseball. Tune in at the middle of June to find out which was the next stadium I visited, and I will also tell you about my experience at that stadium. Tune in to the next All Sports with Gerardo show next week. I want to say thank you to everybody that watches every episode of All Sports. Subscribe or like my pages on social media at All Sports with Gerardo. Until next time, this is Gerardo.